Most handguns haven't failed on the first shot. They failed on the shot that came after you relaxed. I've stood on a Texas range with a pistol that looked perfect for 2 boxes straight. Clean cycles, easy reset, no drama. Then it got boring. I started talking, started packing mags slower, started treating it like it was handled. That's when it coughed. Not in a cool, obvious way either. Just a quiet little hiccup that told me the truth. It was reliable only while I was paying rent with my attention. That's the kind of failure that gets people hurt because it shows up after you've already trusted it. So this isn't a hype list. It's 5 handguns that didn't pull that on me, even when the day turned lazy, dirty, and inconvenient. Stay to the end because I'm handing you one simple liar test that saved me money and regret more than any spec sheet ever has. Most handguns don't fail you when you're watching. They fail you when you stop watching. The USP didn't. I've been on a hot range day outside Dallas where the bench was dusty, the ammo was cheap 115 grain, and everybody started rushing because they were tired and ready to leave. That's when guns show their real face. Little slow feeds, half resets. That one dead click that makes your stomach drop. The HK USP never had to charm me. It never looked modern, never acted like it needed to prove anything, and that was the point. I treated it like the boring guy in the room. Then I kept landing on the same conclusion. It didn't care what I thought. That dead click feeling is why this list exists. A lot of pistols run great when everything stays clean and polite. The USP lives in the opposite lane, built around bad days, not bragging rights. It's the pistol I stopped babysitting in my head because it didn't demand attention. Not exciting, not wow, just steady when most guns start getting picky. And I'm not gonna fake love it. It's bulky. It feels dated. It's a brick with opinions. But when I needed boring, this one stayed boring. And comfort is where most pistols start lying. Most pistols. I came in sideways on this one because it had that budget smell on it. Cheap gun energy. It'll run until it doesn't. It was last month, a San Antonio range day. Late afternoon heat, sweat on your hands, people crowding the benches, dusty table, everybody moving a little fast because they're tired. That's where pistols stop acting perfect, because nobody's babying anything anymore. And the RXM didn't even have to win the pistol fight. It had to survive mag drama, because that's where reliability gets exposed. A good handgun can look broken with a bad magazine. A mediocre handgun can look fine until the mags start acting stupid. So I watch the boring stuff, hard seating, lock back, feed angle, that tiny hesitation people ignore because they want the gun to be good. I watched for the first little lie. I kept waiting for it to do the cheap gun thing. That one stutter that makes you start blaming ammo, blaming grip, blaming anything except the gun. It didn't give me that excuse. Next one isn't cheap, and it isn't quiet. It's the kind of gun people trust too fast, and I still catch myself doing it. It was a Tuesday afternoon in my town at a little pawn shop off the main road. Pawn shop lights that make everything look worse than it is. I walked in to trade a gun I didn't feel proud to hand over, and I walked out staring at a FN 509 Tactical, like it was either gonna save me or embarrass me again. Not because the trade gun was trash, because I'd argued for it, defended it, and still ended up at the counter like, yeah, I was wrong. That's the headspace where you stop buying for fun. You buy for trust. The 509 sat behind the glass with that tactical word hanging over it like a promise. And I don't trust promises. I kept waiting for it to feel like a lie the second it touched my hand. He slid it across the counter and I checked the honest stuff first. Rails, wear, mags. What got me wasn't hype. It was how unbothered it felt. Like it didn't need my approval. First time I ran it after that, I rushed it on purpose. Sloppy reloads, quick pace, no careful treatment. I waited for the first little stutter. It didn't give it to me. Next one doesn't sit quiet in a glass case. It dares you to get cocky, and that's where I've screwed up before. The CZ Shadow 2. Carry didn't scare me into respecting it. It did the opposite. It made me feel clean, and that's when I start getting dangerous. I ran it on a plate rack, and it started feeling unfair fast. The gun settled, the sights stopped wandering, and every time I should have had to work for the shot, it felt like it was already there. The recoil came back the same way every time, like it wanted to land in the same place whether I deserved it or not. That's the trap. You stop checking yourself because the pistol keeps covering your mistakes. So I got sloppy in a way I don't even like admitting. I started moving too fast, talking while I was shooting, cutting corners on discipline just because the hits kept happening. I even caught myself trying to make it look smooth, like I was on camera instead of doing it right. Not testing, not training, just me acting like I couldn't miss because the gun made it feel true. And it didn't punish me for it. That's the trap. Most handguns fail you when you relax. This one almost trains you to relax on purpose because it keeps saving you from yourself. It makes ego feel like skill. Next one doesn't hand out freebies. It takes them back. A few years back, I was out at a rough little outdoor range just north of town, middle of a long summer afternoon, heat sitting heavy in the air, brass everywhere under the bench, and 2 pistols in the bag. The one I actually cared about that day wasn't the Glock 19 Gen 5. I had another handgun with me that felt smoother in the hand and looked a whole lot better sitting on the table. The Glock was just the backup. The gun I brought along because it was easy. About an hour in, the better pistol started changing on me. Nothing dramatic, just small things, a weird hesitation, a rhythm that didn't feel right, enough to make me stop relaxing and start paying attention again. That's the moment I remember clearly. I set it down, picked the Glock up, and ran the same mixed ammo through it with dusty hands and half my focus gone. Same pace, same loose grip, same tired mood after shooting for a while, and it felt exactly the same as it had an hour earlier. No shift, no complaint, no moment where it demanded extra attention. That's when something clicked for me. Most handguns wait until you relax before they show you who they really are. The Glock 19. Gen 5 didn't. And by the time I noticed that, I'd already stopped checking on it. Time I noticed that, the argument against it had already disappeared. That's the whole point. Guns don't usually fail when you're locked in. They fail when you get comfortable. Here's the liar test I've leaned on. If a pistol only runs when you're babying it, it's lying. The truth shows up when you're tired, when the gun's dirty, when your grip isn't perfect, when you're down to the last couple mags, and you're already thinking about the drive home. The ones worth owning have stayed boring right there. And yeah, even these 5 have choked when people fed them junk mags, ignored springs, or tried to fix what wasn't broken. Confidence has turned into smoke real fast. I've watched good guns get ruined by ego, and shortcuts too. Drop the handgun that embarrassed you, and the one that never did. I'm Steve. Stay sharp out there.